The program you are about to listen to contains graphic scenes of stupidity, Sam Foltz, and Zachary Schoensiegel. You have been warned.
Welcome to the We Don't Know What This Is podcast.
I'm Zachary Schoensiegel.
And I'm Sam Foltz.
How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. Who do we got?
Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Bever. Say hello.
Hello. Hi.
All right, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, very good. We did it, guys.
Yeah. All right.
I'm proud of us.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. I feel like an introduction is probably
Needed?
Needed.
Well,
For those of
do the
you
thing.
who don't know, Mr. Bever is a teacher here at LHS, the high school me and Zach go to.
Hi.
What classes do you teach?
I teach presently physics, astronomy, and then advanced physics, ACP physics.
Okay, so a bunch of things I don't understand.
Yep. Me either. I'm even in the class.
If it's any consolation, me either.
Oh.
Yeah.
You teach
So
it, you don't know.
You seem to at least know what you're doing.
well,
when you're up there.
it's a nice song and dance.
Yeah.
Everyone believes me until
Till they
you know,
don't.
yes, but
It's till the end of the world.
it's fun. It's a different subject, and a lot of times, like you were saying earlier, hey, we were referring to something that didn't happen on camera. Microphone. And sometimes physics isn't for everybody in terms of like what it's made of, because it's a lot of math, and biology is like less of that. I mean, there's a lot more just like things.
I just don't like biology. No offense, all you biology teachers out there. Science is just, that's not my
it's
topic.
tough,
Yeah.
man. Sometimes it's tough.
There's some like instances of science that I like more than others. Just like, physics. I'm into sound and all that, and
Right.
that's kind of part of physics. And I'm like,
Right.
Sure, that's like kind of the same. So whatever.
Yeah.
and that's the problem with all of the science classes. They end up having such a wide breadth that you never really realize. So like with physics, you got sound, but you got everything else. That's the
Right.
problem. And so like Earth space science is nice because it's Earth space, but the problem is then from there it all dissolves out into all the various parts of the Earth and all the various parts of space.
Yeah, I just like a nice overall overview.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so you say you teach astronomy, right?
A little bit.
What about the telescope that's been the observatory that's been there? I think Mr. Johnson built it.
Yes.
What is it
What's
used
that
for
about?
anything?
Okay, so
Squirrel nest.
there was a hornet's nest on it, so that's we're trying to engage with the local wildlife. But really, it is a good telescope. It's a fantastic telescope. The problem that I've had recently is that the trees have grown since that observatory was built, and now the telescope looks straight into the trees where all the planets would be. Right? So the planets travel on a path across the sky, and they're all behind the trees right now. So I haven't used it recently. The times I've had star parties have always been up on a hill somewhere.
So, like, you're talking about like the trees in the berry patch, or just like all of the trees?
Well, no, it's like a specific set of the trees. If I had a chance to just kind of get one of them's rings,
Yeah.
I'd take one of them's chainsaws and chop up the tops of some of these trees so I can actually see past them. But at the same time, I mean, we don't want to disturb the environment. But it's,
Well, you know what? You can blind them with science.
Yes, exactly. And it is a really nice observatory. The telescope's a nice, I think it's an 8-inch telescope or something like that, which is a really nice, big amount of light collection that you can use to see Jupiter from real far away. Wow. It's really nice.
Big and stuff.
I don't understand any. I enjoy light and I enjoy filmography, photography, but not enough to get into it.
So,
Can't
question
use a
for you
film
now.
camera.
What makes you different from all the other teachers that why do students like you so much?
I have no idea.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to be the tutor of my own horn, which is a very good sentence. I don't want to be too, what would you call it, into myself. I do think that I connect with kids to a certain extent. And I'm pretty young at heart still. I haven't the world has definitely crushed us all now, right? We're all in the same place on the ground, crushed into it like a hammer. But okay. But I feel like I still have a fairly young heart and in my head space. I still like the online things that kids like these days.
You're like Adam Sandler.
Oh no. Like Adam Sandler?
I mean,
Is
like he's like, I guess is he pushing 60?
If it makes any difference, I have no idea who that is.
You don't know who Adam Sandler
No.
is?
He's a guy.
Have you ever seen like Happy Gilmore?
Nope.
Billy Madison?
Nope. I have no idea what any of
Have
those
you
are.
never lived?
I've lived in a cave.
It's this guy.
That guy.
He wears super baggy. Not saying that you
Okay,
are Adam
that-
Sandler. I'm
that
just saying
man.
it's like you both
I
are very like you're adults while still being very charismatic. I don't have you as a teacher. You just seem to have a very
You need to
like
in the morning.
like a charisma that's like like let's learn instead of just being like welcome class. Today we're talking about
And that's I try my best. Sometimes the subject is unwilling to to let me be more charismatic, but most of the time things interest. I think that's the other thing is that things interest me that in a way that I get super passionate about, and they're things that just usually aren't very passion inducing.
yeah.
Right.
Like I love all of my subject because of all the things that it implies. And I get just fired up about it. And when I get fired up, the people can see that. And I feel like that's half of why people enjoy the class. But, sometimes the subject's a little bit more dry and you got to try to amp it up a little bit.
Right.
Well, I forgot to turn in my application for tomorrow's teachers, so I won't be taking that class next year. So now I have a slot open. Sorry,
Just
Mrs.
go
Jones.
very fast. Run now as fast
No,
as
it
you
was
can.
due like 2 days ago.
Oh, going back
No,
in time.
no, it's because she like ran it to me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, here you go." And then she was like, "Oh, don't forget to turn this in at the end of the day." But when you have 1,000 trillion bajillion things going on at the same
yes.
time,
Yep, that's how it
so
works.
yeah,
Hey, I've got a question for you guys then.
Yeah.
You just said a thing that reminded me. What's it like being a kid? No, I'm just. But what's it like being a kid who has a lot of responsibilities in this day and age?
Something that I've really think that's really helped me kind of keep stuff kind of together, especially since I'm really involved after school,
Right.
is keeping a good calendar, keeping a very good schedule on like where I need to be when. So like, for instance, I have to be at the radio station at 5:00 today. So I have that in my calendar, but I also have this in my calendar.
Right.
So like I have my days set out to be how I want them.
And like, well, I don't want to cut you off if you had something. You
Oh,
wanted
no,
to
you're
say.
good.
But I feel like that's not the standard
Right.
for most people.
Right. And I've
general.
just somebody the other day said, I'm the only person that they know that actually has a calendar that has things on it.
you're gonna have to
Right.
teach me how to use a Google Calendar because I
Okay.
could go with it. I have like up until like what Sunday, I had like drama club, sometimes work, school.
Right. And I don't even know what I would do now. Like you've seen my calendar. It's
Yeah.
And the part of the reason I ask the question is because it feels like I was a kid at one point, and I recall having things to do, but it feels like you guys are getting pulled a lot recently. Like from what I've seen of the students I have, it feels like there's just all these things pulling on everyone at all times, and I don't know how you guys maintain composure.
we don't.
Yeah.
that's the key. we don't.
Yeah, it's like it's all fun and games until you're like, oh, I have homework, and then like the one day you're gone, that's the day your teachers assign like 1,000 assignments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay, so you try to find a way to parse it out so that. Sorry, I'm hitting the table.
No,
too
it's
much.
okay. It's funny.
Okay.
I hope it sounds good.
Yep.
Yeah, nice, deep, resonant. Yes, but man, it's just been weird seeing the last 10 years people getting more and more stressed and more focused on these after-school activities, which are great. They're great. It's wonderful that you guys are involved, but at the same time, it feels like it might be too much for a human to endure.
Yeah.
I don't get rest time anymore at all.
I mean, I feel like it's a good precursor to life. Just
Yeah.
stress.
Yeah, but what year are you in this particular school? Are you junior?
No, I'm a sophomore.
I don't know if you need that. As a
Yeah, no,
sophomore.
I probably shouldn't. But like this week, the other day, Monday, I think. Yeah, I
What are you
I
referring
went to.
to?
I fell asleep at 8:00
Oh.
p.m. and woke up
Yeah.
the
are
next
you-
morning.
By the way,
I was
Sam,
so tired.
Sam, are you tired yet?
No, I'm actually very much energized. I had a V8 fusion energy
Oh, okay.
thing.
Because he's always tired at the end, like when we're doing
right,
this.
right,
he's
Well,
like,
this is it's normally whenever it's like really boring subject matter, but this is a very active conversation.
Also, are we being sponsored by V8 Fusion Energy?
Oh no, we're not.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Just
No, we
double
are. No, we're not. I wish we were.
Yes, we are.
We are
Tell,
sponsored
I wish
by-
we do the thing.
The Pepsy one.
No,
Pepsi-
no, the other
no,
one.
Which
The-
one?
The
Pepsi Wild
hair.
Cherry? What? Oh, no. This episode is sponsored by male pattern baldness, a problem across America and the rest of the world. If you are suffering from male pattern baldness, sorry for your loss. That's a sponsor for my dad. He listens to this podcast. He's my number one fan.
That's awesome. That's wonderful.
Yes,
Also
it's
pizza.
awesome. Also, yes, pizza. And also Dr. Pepper's Pepsi Wild Cherry, a nice cold
PepsiCo?
drink for a hot summer's day.
Yeah. Okay.
This episode is also sponsored by Ray. No, we can't say that on here.
Nope.
I'm sure.
Nope.
'Cause
Oh
that's
my-
illegal. It's illegal.
Is
clicked the
it, wait, is
box.
it illegal to sponsor somebody without getting money for it? I feel like they wouldn't care.
No, it's just free advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who needs that? They have enough.
Yeah.
Everyone is
Like,
sponsored.
I
by
hear that
each
on the
other.
radio sometimes. Like what?
What rate?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Logan Sport Radio has raid shout.
Wait, are you talking about 102.3?
No.
Yeah,
please
Are you
don't.
serious?
Don't do this.
Sometimes, yeah.
I listen to it every day on the or every
Yeah,
morning on the way to
like-
school.
like
if I hear
midday.
that,
Like midday, they're just on satellite, so it's all like
Oh, okay.
it's all
I
like
thought you meant,
satellite
like-
radio junk.
I thought you meant like Jam and Jimmy's chilling out.
No,
in
he's
his
like
studio.
sponsored by
It's like-
Raid Shadow.
It's funny.
Oh my
yes, and
gosh.
he,
yeah, that would be really, really strange, man. That'd feel icky.
But even though it's still on the radio, I mean, like
yeah, they
Why?
rate Shattered Legends has infiltrated all of society and has sponsored every individual on
it's
the
like
planet.
the simian flu from Planet of the Apes. It's slowly like the downfall of humanity.
yeah.
Only the fittest of the survival of the fittest. Is that the term?
Yeah.
Fittest of the survival. Yeah, survival of the fittest.
Yes, it is. Only the fittest.
Lord of the Flies. I'm just kidding. I checked out that book, which I have a book that I need to turn in. Don't tell anyone.
Oh.
Sorry, Mrs. Minks.
No one will know.
Wait,
Except for you
Miss-
broadcast it to everyone.
Wait, doesn't Mrs. Minks listen to this podcast?
Yes,
Oh, I'm
yes,
sorry,
indeed she
Mrs. Minks.
does.
No, I have. No, wait, no. You have. No. I don't want her coming after me. Okay, but yes, continue.
I checked out Lord of the Flies, got like 10 pages in, and those pages are so jam-packed with words. It's like reading the Bible on crack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I can't do this. And I turned it back in.
I remember in college, I read a philosophy book that was about like that. I went about a quarter of the way down the page. And I
I'm
was
sorry for your loss of time.
like, hey, philosophy is great and I love it, but not this book.
Yeah.
Because it was like some old dude, probably like, what's the Aristotle or something, right? Anyway, the dude was writing as dense as could possibly be. Like, I had to reread the same paragraph 4 times. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Yeah.
I've not learned anything. And
That's
If
how
you
I felt.
physically get a headache from reading a book just because of the content that it
Yeah.
has, it's just bad. Just
It's
don't.
not. I don't think it's necessarily like the content. I think it's the word choice because like philosophic books. What's Colby doing on the sound?
I don't know. but
He's scrolling through. He's on the internet. I can.
looking at-
Is he on Schoology?
He's looking at random things.
I like how you
Better
just
not.
watch what he's doing.
Oh, Sonic Circus. Okay, it's a. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Sonic
But-
Circus,
He's looking at
the
microphones.
new Sonic
Oh,
game?
how fun!
Yeah.
But yeah. But I don't know exactly how that one was written. I seem to recall reading it though, because a bunch of kids, right? Is that the one with the kids on the island? Is that Lord of the Flies? Well, Lord
Yes.
of the Flies, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I remember reading that, but I
Yeah.
don't remember much of the diction that they used.
Yeah, it was very. It's like it's not really like it's more of like you have to. It's more context clues, and it's like not necessarily the vocabulary, but it's like you're supposed to like. I'll go back through and read Spark Notes because it's like chapter by chapter. I'm like, okay, what did I just read? And it's like, oh, well, this happened. It's like, and it's like it's all supposed to be implied. It's just like what?
Oh, okay.
How is that implied by like you saying that like there's kids in the jungle when really it's implied that the world is like at nuclear war? It's like how am I supposed to know that?
Nuclear war.
What did I say?
Nuclear war. Stop it.
Oh, sorry.
Stop being bad at English.
Hey,
Hey, English is tough.
I want to be an English teacher. Thank you, Zachary.
Best fix that.
Yeah.
Here's the question: why is it that English? That's the question. Why is English so ridiculous? We have borrowed all these words from all these Germanic things from everywhere, right? Everywhere, not just like German, but we have all these like weird 4-letter things that sound different, like through, though, tough. Like we have this weird amalgam of, I was actually something I was thinking of talking about today in this podcast that we were talking about. Language. Why is English bad? Tell me why English is bad, quick.
English is it can be a very formal and romantic language, all the while being extremely confusing to learn. Like Spanish is really, you might think it's difficult, but really all it is just you have to figure out verb conjugation. So instead of like he eats, I eat. And like in Spanish, it would be, I guess what? It's like I eat would be yo como, and then he eats would be el come, I think. Sorry, Mr. Lafour in Valencia. But it's like that. It's like, and it's like that kind of stuff. It's like that, and then like different like verbs, and there's only like there's not really that many of them. And once you get that, you can pretty much speak the language. But like English, you have to learn how to spell everything. There's phonics, word structure, the alphabet, which
and like different words that mean completely different things, but are spelled the same, said the same. They sound the same.
What are those called?
Homophones or something like that.
Yeah, homophones is sounds.
Wait, what's the difference between a homophone and a homonym? Homonym is spelled different. Same name.
Yeah, so homo means same, and then nym would be like name, and then homophone, phone means like sound, so it would be same sound.
Oh, same. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like speaking of homophones, my son is in first grade, and he has his words he's supposed to practice.
Happy first grade.
Happy first grade. He's almost a second. Oh my gosh, he's an old man. Anyway, he's learning the word mode today,
like
or this week.
Like MODE.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's how he spelled it. He's wrong.
Oh, MOWED?
Yeah. So that's the problem.
That's awful.
Imagine being a child.
That's awful.
That's all. Imagine being a child and then having to spell all this stuff, and you're supposed to do it with phonics, and then they're like, no. It's mode. No, don't you mean mode? No, I mean mode.
Yeah,
that's why I hate it.
Contact. That's the thing though about like elementary teachers, especially. Like I remember when I was learning phonics, vaguely. I mean, like they were like, oh, okay. They would always put it with context because I mean, like mode and mode. If you like, you just hear it, you're like, are we talking about like TV? Like input mode? Or are we talking about like is my lawn mode? It's
I hated spelling tests.
Edna mode.
That's it. I don't know.
Very good. Referential material. But
Incredibles.
incredible. It's an incredible. But yeah, it's you're right. The context is important. But now imagine having a list of words that you're supposed to learn, right?
Right.
And you have no context for that. That'd be rough, right?
Yeah.
Like I think so. But like you're probably right. I don't know what's happening in that classroom. Presumably she's using the words in sentences.
I would hope so.
Mode, growl, do it now.
Help.
Spell all the words. No help. Good luck.
You got this.
You get a grade, and if you don't, then bye-bye.
Yeah, you fail out of first grade.
Yep. See ya.
Oh,
that'd be so bad. I
pure
thought
sadness.
I think I got a C in math in like fourth grade. And I thought that was the end of my career. I thought that like I wasn't ever going to get accepted into colleges. I was going to like fail out of life.
Yeah. No, I got another question for you then. Imagine you're a child again.
Okay.
You guys in fourth grade is a good place.
Okay.
My wife teaches fourth grade over at Columbia. That's a subtle plug for Columbia Elementary. Is that a thing? This episode is sponsored by Columbia Elementary School.
I think it's sixth grade academy right now.
Oh no! That's
the middle school.
That
was like the middle school.
Exactly.
Columbia
See, that's what I'm
Elementary
saying.
and Columbia Sixth Grade Academy. Sixth Grade Academy was the middle school. Elementary is just elementary.
Yeah, so the elementary's.
My grandma works there as a cafeteria lady. Lunch. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, continue.
And even
One of
Mr.
them.
Jones, like during our senior meeting today, he was all confused. He didn't even know which school was what.
It's just changed like
so
8
many.
times in the last year, right?
Can't wait for the new school to show up.
Yeah, like woohoo!
Yeah,
There's
it's like,
another
what school's getting built now?
It's
Columbia Sixth Grade Franklin Landis Academy, the fourth.
Yes.
Yes.
It's very easy to remember, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, now imagine being in fourth grade. You just took your iStep or iLearn or I don't know anymore.
Yep.
Because it changes so much.
Sad.
Don't remind
Right.
me.
And that's the thing. Like, did you guys feel so defeated that you didn't think that like it was like what did you feel?
I felt that was like SATs, but elementary. Like I thought if I failed that, I was gonna like fail.
Like fail. Like,
Yeah.
that was it.
Like I couldn't go on as like a person going to school, like going to the next thing, because my mom's a school teacher. She's a music teacher, but she's very involved with like all of her colleagues and everything. But
Right.
if I were to not like get a decent score on that standardized awful test, I would feel like I failed life.
Yeah. Man, how are we willing to put our poor kids in fourth grade? I know that you said it in sophomore year and as senior, like doing those things. Okay, whatever. You guys can go. You're almost adults. Maybe
Help.
But like you're almost adults. And because of that, I mean, you can take on more, pressure. But like, imagine being a fourth grader and you're trying to tell this fourth grader that your whole life depends on this next moment, right? That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Also, standardized testing is stupid. I think it should be based off of not standardized tests. I'm a horrible test taker. Also, if they're like, all right, you need to take this test now, that's like 2 hours long, and it's like answer sheets, and you're supposed to like, what's the best answer? I hate questions that are like, it's like English. It's like, what's the best answer? English is all objective. I can answer in any way, and as long as I provide evidence, you can't tell me I'm wrong. It's all about how you think.
Right. And I think that's a great point. It's all about how you think, and it's all about how you like exert yourself towards your goal, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I feel we should measure our students' abilities in quotation marks, because like, man, these standardized tests, they're awful. They last forever. They're built in a weird way that is testing certain types of knowledge that might not necessarily be what we're teaching.
Right.
It's almost like I don't want to get into too much of the politics of it.
Careful.
Whoa, watch out. Beep, beep. And there's like a little button. You go, bonk. No more talk. But like
We drop your seat down the trapdoor.
There's a pit.
we'd like to thank Mr. Bever for joining us today. He's now gone. But like the politics of these things, right? There are little bits of, like who this test was built for. It's not built for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like what you said earlier, biology is not built for everybody.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like biology is built for people that
Biology
are
is built for
biologists.
people who are insane.
Yes. I mean, no, I didn't say that. But like everything's built for somebody, right?
Yeah.
And people like they have their specialties. Like you have sound. You said you were wanting to do English. Like
Yeah.
I really like weird math bull crap. Sorry, bleep that. But like that's it. That's over.
Canceled.
But like I like that kind of stuff, and that's what makes the world great, and to like show people like you're not like you didn't pass this test, but like they don't care. They don't care about that particular subject. That's fine. I didn't pass the test. I don't care about that.
We should campaign. We should this is the triad.
Man, I tell you, we could go places, boys.
I was so lucky because of COVID. Kind of like, I mean,
That's a weird sentence.
yes, but
COVID
I
was
didn't
horrible
have
and good at the same time.
I didn't have to report my SAT scores to Purdue.
Oh,
And,
Oh, you got so lucky. I'm only applying for Purdue just to see if I get accepted. I'm not going there.
and because I didn't give them my SAT scores, that's probably what I'm in.
well,
Because-
and I think that's the point. Like SATs, they if they let you in based on what you've done, and like your SATs are not like in play, then that's what should matter. Right. That makes sense
it's
to
not
me.
like the rest of your life you're not going to take like the PSAT, for example. There was questions about like it was like asking like story questions about like, what kind of soil would you put a pumpkin in or whatever. It's like, I'm not going to go into life using that knowledge. I'm going to go into life
put it in the
using, like,
ground. That's
Exactly,
what you do. That
like-
soil is in the ground.
like you go into life not using your SAT knowledge. You go into life using your extracurriculars, like some of like the experiences you learn in high school. Maybe most of the knowledge you'll learn, maybe not chemistry, but that's beside the point. Sorry, Mrs. Cornfell.
Sorry, Mr. McCord.
Sorry, I have a very much love-hate relationship with that class.
Yeah, and that's great. Like that's fine. Like I know that most people won't use all of what's in my class. I get that, right? But like what I hope comes through with some of these classes, even the ones that you feel angry about,
Yes.
or at least there might be just a little bit of a different way of looking at something, and that's okay.
Right.
You won't use everything. I think about calculus, for instance, with these kids in calculus. I'm like, yeah, you're going to use calculus. I'm like, well, I'm using it but that doesn't mean everybody's using it.
Like Joe down the street running
Yeah.
an excavator or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
right. He's
even
not
know.
using
Excavator.
calculus.
Oh, it is an escalator.
Escalator.
Sorry, I was thinking escalator, and I was like,
Joe down the street running that escalator.
driving around with the escalator.
Oh my gosh, we came up with another good business idea.
Yeah,
Drive up escalator.
Yes.
portable for
Yes.
people who can't, who have a hard time getting up and down stairs. Will show up, and
Yeah. That
There you go.
they call you. They got like a little, hotline.
it's like
Escalator
life
hotline.
alert, but it's escalator alert.
It's push button.
Life
Here we go.
escalator. It just comes out of nowhere. Your shoes are the escalators.
Oh my gosh, guys!
Just start levitating.
Millions of dollars worth of ideas right here.
Oh
We're
my
killing
gosh.
it. But yeah. I feel like you guys, like you get it. Like you understand that these standardized tests are a little bit suspicious.
Yeah, you've probably made enemies with everybody else in the F wing right now.
Probably not.
Well,
You'd be surprised.
I guess
at
yeah,
how
good
many
point. I
teachers just
don't think any teacher likes standardized testing, not necessarily because of like what you said, but also just because you probably don't want to sit there for like 2 hours and do nothing while
you can't
everybody
even, like,
around
be on
you.
your phone or anything. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta-
Yeah.
You just have to sit there and
there
like
like a
read
lump.
a book. And who likes reading?
I have
kidding.
not checked
Reading
out a
is
book
for
from
fools.
the library.
I love reading. I
since
just
I got
read
here.
1984 for my English project, and it was very heavy topic matter, but a very good book.
Yes, it's great. It's a double plus good book.
Yeah, and I mean it's very. That's like back to the philosophical book thing. I feel like that's a good example of, good book. It's going to be playing something out. I hear like a ringing in my ear.
It's not on here, so it's probably fine.
Okay, so what time are we up to?
We are at 26 minutes.
Wow, that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All the people that don't.
Oh no, we still
don't-
have like a solid like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
four.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. 3.
3. Okay. Oh man, look at the time.
look at that.
Heavens.
All right.
Yeah, like it's good that you like that book. That's definitely an interesting one. Like you say, heavy topic. It's kind of like a Fahrenheit 451, another sort of similar dystopian
Yeah.
future sort of book. I always like.
It's
that
on
kind of
my.
stuff.
I have a reading list of books, most of which are like Orwell type books.
Yeah.
Just
Well, I feel
insanity.
like it kind of prepares you. no, but what I mean is like it kind of allows you to see some ways that humanity can go if unchecked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of an
Right.
interesting way to think about it. What kind of books do you read ever?
I don't.
Reasonable. There's no time.
I'm not sure that I've checked a book out of the library since I've gotten here.
Yeah.
You've been here since
Also,
what,
the library
sophomore?
has moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt they're ever gonna get back into the original one. No offense,
We're-
Career Center classes, but you guys are horrible at.
Being
Deadlines.
fast.
Like, I'm sorry, but I want to see it before I graduate. I still
You're
have
not.
2 years. Yeah, but
They started it 2
Mr.
years
Jones
ago.
is gonna be like in his 60s by the time it's done.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, are they going up there though? Like, are they
Like,
working?
yeah, kind of.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be in lunch and all I hear is just really loud, like from
Oh,
the
okay.
ceiling above
Yeah,
me.
that sounds like progress, right?
Yeah, it sounds like that or Bart Simpson is doing
Also,
the weird
why
megaphone
can't the
thing.
berry bean be open while they're doing that? Like, you know,
Man, that was a cool idea, and then it got shut down
Yeah,
immediately.
like they could move it to like
or like
move
put
to
up
IT room. It's
put
not like
up-
they do anything in there anyway.
Put up like temporary walls or something, like so we can go in there.
wasn't
and,
it? And like it wasn't even like
It was
in
like
one
an
of
old
the walls.
copy room or something.
Yeah,
that
it was like-
but it's really nice.
I
Yeah,
haven't been in there.
Well,
it was well made.
It was
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's my 8th grade year. What am I grade? Am I
said
sophomore?
sophomore.
I'm
yeah. So
sophomore. I
it
am
was
a
what
sophomore.
my sophomore.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
And
yes.
wasn't the next year the year that they closed down everything? Like
Yeah,
last year.
well,
This last
or
year,
the
right?
end of my sophomore year, which was like 3-ish years ago. That's when we went home for 2 weeks and then didn't come back.
Yeah, they're like,
Oh, that's right.
that was great.
That
then-
was
and then
2
they just-
years ago.
Yeah.
Gosh, man.
That was wonderful. I was like, oh, I get off school, and then like looking back on it, you're like, oh, what was happening during those 2 weeks was like atrocious. That was like humanity was just suffering.
Yes.
Man, it's crazy to think also how small the numbers were at that point compared to what they ended up getting to.
Yeah.
You know.
What they even are probably now.
Yeah.
We don't
like,
even- we don't even
that's
know
also
about it
another
now.
thing. Here in Logan, a lot of people have been like out for like allergies or like like the flu. I'm wondering if it is COVID, but even if it is COVID, it's not
know-
like
you
I
know
think it's
how,
just flu, which I'm hoping it's just flu. Please don't like if this ends up turning into something else, I was not the person.
You know,
it was you.
You know
I knew
how
it.
Susan had that voice thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now my mom has something like that.
I'm wondering if it,
I'm wondering if that's something that's kind of like that. But my mom asked if she should test. And
Yeah.
I said to her, it probably won't show up on the test because if it's a new strain that we don't know about or something like that,
think
it's not going to show up on.
I think it depends. I think that a lot of times it will, but it varies.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, it's weird thinking how much things have changed even just in the last couple of months. Because you're right, we don't test as much as we
No.
used to. We
I'm
probably
just happy
should.
that I mean, like for like the COVID-19 strain, like the one, I guess
The first one?
Yeah, which I don't even know which one that'd be.
This is the
They'd
first
probably
one.
Just call it alpha
Yeah,
or
the
something
first
like that,
COVID-19. Like I hope because like the flu still exists and has for
right.
hundreds of years.
So yeah, hopefully what happens with the coronavirus, like the current setup of it, is that it starts to do what the flu has done, right?
yeah, like
Just
you know,
become
Where-
seasonal or something.
and seasonal and just not nearly as deadly.
Yeah.
Because the flu, even though we see it as ubiquitous. Oh no, we're running out of time.
No, keep
we,
talking.
We
Keep
see
going,
it as
keep going.
the flu. We see it as ubiquitous, and it's just killing tons of people. In terms of death rates, it was nothing compared to COVID. COVID was I don't remember what it was, 10 times as much, or
Yeah.
maybe more. I can't recall off the top of my head.
that's a biology teacher question.
Yeah, that's biology teachers, call in to the podcast.
248-434-5508. That's 248-434-5508.
We're
Call that. See what it does.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's hopefully it's deadliness that will tank at some point, because that's kind of what a lot of diseases that are really nasty can do. Is if people are actively fighting against it, only the strains that are more chill can get through. So maybe when the flu started, it started off a little more deadly, and then people started to realize that it was really deadly and transmissible, so they started separating each other out. So maybe what the flu said, not random variations, right? But the evolution of the flu then said, I'm gonna chill out a little bit so I can still transmit eventually, And I think that COVID could do that. I'm not sure if
Right.
it's doing that yet,
Yeah.
Yeah, because definitely the numbers were up at
Yeah.
one point. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
All right. Well, anyway,
That's all.
Good
we
way
got.
to end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good, great way.
Oh, sad.
Positivity.
Super positive.
But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's episode about viruses, different schools, standardized testing. Yuck.
Indeed.
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
English.
Library, please open back up.
Children being stressed out.
Yes, that was.
What else? What was the first thing?
There was a lot of things, but I think
Oh,
this was
man.
we
You
got.
said science. At one point.
She blinded me with science.
Science.
That's a song, isn't it?
It is
Yep.
a song. It's an old song.
It is, but we like
surprised.
old songs.
Yes, you should. They're good.
Old people.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Old.
He called middle-aged people old people.
This episode brought to you by old people.
All right.
Anyways, that's all we got.
That's
for
all
today.
the time we have for today on the We Don't Know What This Is podcast. I'm your host, Sam Foltz.
And I'm Zachary Schoensiegel.
And today we had very special guest one, Mr. Bever. Say hello.
Hello.
Now say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And we'll catch you in the next one.
Where's the button?